Hello there. Welcome to this edition of the Microsoft Cloud News Update, researching the cloud blogs so you don't have to. So this week we have a couple of updates to share with you. Next week is Ignite, so the product groups are probably holding back all the big announcements for Ignite for next week, but there are a couple of interesting things nonetheless to share with you now. Let's jump into it. A deep dive into serverless applications on both Power Apps and Azure. So this blog post done by a product manager within the Azure team gets into some detail on low-code application development on both of these platforms. And it talks about what low-code application dev is on Azure. So its ability to create applications very quickly without getting into a lot of coding, a lot of lines of coding, et cetera. So a lot of the platform is pre-built. And wanted to call this to your attention because it does differentiate between the serverless application capabilities that is built into Azure and also the components of Power Apps that we've spoken about before. And furthermore, there are going to be a series of webinars beginning this week, February 25th, to learn more about serverless low-code application development, which will include demos and the ability to interact with the Azure and the Power Platform product groups. So check out the link for more info on how to sign up for the webinars. We have a couple of Microsoft 365 roadmap details to share with you. So the first one is regarding Microsoft Information Protection and the ability to apply DLP policies to OneDrive for Business, and the support for that around user accounts and groups as part of creating the policy scope using location picture. So it's an ability to do more granular control within your DLP policy scope and to exclude particular departments, business units, security groups, etc. So this is in development currently, and release is slated for March 2021. The second roadmap update, and you might have seen some of this in the press, is regarding Word for Windows and the ability to do text predictions. So this is, again, a lot of us are familiar with texting and text predictions on mobile devices using SMS texting or other applications. So similar capabilities coming over to the Word for Windows side. So as you start to type in a word, within Word, it'll try to recognize what you're trying to type and complete the word for you, thus enhancing your accuracy and the amount of time needed to complete a Word document. Currently in development and should be available next month. Next, wanted to call your attention to the Microsoft Teams Summit. So this will be an online event, of course, it's Microsoft Teams, later in the month of March. So it'll commence the week of March 22nd. So this is roughly 3 weeks from Microsoft Ignite, and it's going to cover a 3-day span. So I wanted to quickly review the agenda with you. So day one is going to run from 9 o'clock to around noon Central Time. And this is going to be focused on business leaders. It's really going to talk about how to unlock teamwork and how Microsoft Teams can help with more from a business perspective in creating teamwork amongst team members, employees, etc. Day two will be focused on connecting and protecting the workforce, and it'll be focused on IT professionals. So it's really going to be around using the security and compliance components that are available within Microsoft Teams to help lock down teams to make sure you have a secure online collaboration session and environment. And then finally, third day, which will be March 25th, this will be open for everyone, and it's really around sharing best practices on the best use cases using Teams for remote work. So check out the link for more information on the agenda and registration details. So back in November, we shared some information regarding the general availability of using Microsoft Endpoint DLP, data loss prevention. So Endpoint DLP has been out for a couple of months, and one of the product group members here has outlined some best practices on how to onboard your endpoints using Endpoint DLP. So there's some best practices here in terms of what the licensing requirements are and how to use the portal to onboard your endpoint devices. So definitely check out the link for more information regarding these best practices on endpoint onboarding. A couple more updates to share, and this one is regarding the long-term servicing, and I forget what C stands for, thank you channel, but let's do this over again. Ready? 3, 2, 1. A few more updates for you. These next two updates are regarding the long-term servicing channel for both Microsoft Office and Windows as well. So the big change here to keep in mind is that the support policy has changed for both Office LTSC and Windows 10 LTSC. It used to be the case for the support window was 10 years. That has been reduced to 5 years. So definitely check out both of these links regarding Office LTSC and Windows LTSC for more information and the impact on the new life cycle for support. And last but not least, one final reminder regarding Microsoft Ignite. Again, it's next week, March 2nd through the 4th. And this is your ability to interact with some of the speakers beforehand in the community and to craft your agenda ahead of time so you have an idea which sessions you'd like to attend and make the most of your time next week attending Ignite. So the link is up here, myignite.microsoft.com, for you to register, completely free, completely online this year. And check this link out for more information on registration and also the agenda. And that concludes this week's edition of the Microsoft Cloud News Update. If you liked this session, please like. I also appreciate if you can share the video link with others. You can do that via Twitter, LinkedIn, or via YouTube. Like, subscribe, so you keep up to date on all of our weekly updates. If you have any feedback, please share that feedback with me, either via Twitter at Carl Kishel or via LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as well. Share your comments in the comment box. I read all the comments and the feedback, and really appreciate your participation. Have a great week. If you're going to Ignite next week, enjoy Ignite, and look forward to catching up with you next time. Take care.